Good morning and welcome to Namaste today, a happy way to begin your day. I'm your heartfelt host and the Sensei to Serious Joy, Christopher Witecki. This audio blogcast is for Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Friday, April 14th, 2017. Happy Easter, my friend. Namaste. Easter may be on Sunday, my friend, but Sensei says you'll be feeling that spiritual energy today. Today you'll be processing your spiritual path and facing some fears. I'll talk about it and give you the details in your zodiac weather. Then later in our tea time, I want to give you a little surprise. For Easter, the Easter Bunny is going to leave you a golden egg. I'll have the details of that over tea. But first, let's take a look at today's moods and your zodiac weather. This zodiac weather is for Friday, April 14th, 2017. And my global forecast for planet Earth is cloudy and spiritual today. Step 25 rules the day, logging you into your higher self before you make the leap. And the moon moves into Sagittarius, where you will face some ancient fears. Let's take a look at the planets. It's funny how these things sync up, but over the weekend, I argue everyone is going to feel reborn. And that rebirth actually begins today. Today on Friday, step 25 rules the day. At least that's around noon Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And at that point, we officially go into a cloudy introverted phase where you're checking with your spirit. And where you're checking about is whether you're aiming for the right direction and where it is that you feel your soul truly belongs. Between Friday night and Saturday afternoon, expect yourself to be in a bit of a fog as you really try to center and get your direction and bearings for where your next action may be. Now, I've mentioned this. Mars is in complete step with the Sun today, and that means Mars in Taurus at step 25 means you're contemplating the best move for what you want to manifest. And I've said this many times as well, too, that in this transit, everyone is changing their character, but some people are focused on a particular manifestation, which is a representation of that character change. So really, it is the spiritual sense today for who you want to become next, and it is also the spiritual sense of what you're going to manifest as a result. Now, since Mercury is retrograde in Taurus, you are reconsidering manifestation plans at large. And finally, Mercury has retrograded to step 3 today on Friday. That means we're no longer examining or rethinking where we belong. We're examining if we believe we can do it. So Friday is really a feeling through everything, feeling through where you've come from, feeling through where you're going, and feeling if it feels correct. Now, here's what's fascinating. The moon is in Sagittarius today. And Sagittarius holds the conscious information of the Akashic record, and it holds the conscious information of the story you were born to live. So in the next 36 hours, as we move up into Easter, you are emotionally feeling through, degree by degree, if you truly believe in the direction that you're going, and if you feel that it is the calling you were born to live. And over the course of today, the moon will conjoin Black Lilith at step 6, which means to get to your truth and to get to yourself really truly believing, you may have to face some old fears, particularly fears about relationships, step 6, or fears about getting what's fair or not being ripped off. So today is a bit of an emotional journey, and since step 25 adds to a 7, the common sense is to be self-compassionate to yourself all day long. Allow the truth to bubble up. Don't judge yourself for the truth. And be compassionate to whatever your emotional needs are in the moment. If you get all frozen up with fear, you won't process as you need to in this critical hour. What's also quite striking about this last hour here on Friday is that Venus is retrograde today, as it has been for nearly 6 weeks, and is conjoining Chiron, the healer. And what's interesting is it is at step 26, which means we're opening up to a new decision about our spiritual destiny. That's Chiron and Venus in the high heavens of Pisces. And whatever this new decision is about our spiritual destiny, it's likely a healing or reversal of our old karma. Now, what's interesting, of course, is Today is the day we get to our spiritual truths. Tomorrow is the day that you will actually come to a conclusion of where you want to commit. And ironically, tomorrow, Venus goes direct. So her story will be over with as far as past lives, retrograde information, and changing what you open up to. So truly today, Friday, is the spiritual Easter meditation day of your rebirth. You will be rebirthing your character, really. And although we have been working all this transit through the Sun in Aries to reach this point of a new identity, it will be technically a launch day on Sunday. On Sunday, just as the Sun is hitting step 27 Aries, which is the high number of 9, which is the sign of Aries 9. So 27 is the high 9. That basically is the completion of the astrological transit whenever the Sun reaches the highest step number of its own sort of race. So as the Sun goes to step 27, the Moon will be at that same moment crossing Saturn retrograde conjunct the galactic center. So it literally is, in simple terms, as you launch or take action or move forward late Sunday afternoon, you will feel yourself signing the contract, so to speak, to the story you were born to live. Venus will be direct, and that means you will begin to open up now to planting seeds to this new reality as soon as Monday. And Mercury will still be retrograde because after this commitment, there will still be many things to reconsider and rethink about. And Mercury will stay retrograde until May 4th. But this Easter weekend is the transformative weekend, and you are basically signing the soul contract to lead in a certain direction in your life. And like I said earlier, that direction will likely affect what you manifest next. So speaking of manifestation, that leads us to our next topic. Go steep yourself some tea, and let's have our weekend tea time. Hello, my friend, and welcome to our tea time. Today's tea time topic is the golden egg. The golden egg is the perfect metaphor for what's about to happen, in my opinion, because, of course, we are going through Easter weekend, and that really has to do with fertility and spring. And up until now, I've been talking about how Saturn in Sagittarius has been pushing us towards the story we were born to live. Now, up until now, I think up until the Sun in Aries, this story has really revolved around you shedding off the old story and coming into the new terms of the story. But I think for many of us, we're still scratching our heads going, where is this story leading? What is this story going to do? Well, one thing's for certain, it involves a golden egg. What I mean by golden egg is, I believe at this time, at this moment, with the Sun moving into Taurus next, it is now time to plant a golden egg on Earth. This, you could say, is basically a wish upon a star. This is a heartfelt intention, something your heart truly wants to see on Earth. Now that you are coming into the character of the story you were born to live, it's time for you to create and make a creation in this story. And that's definitely one of the clues I know is involved with the story we're born to live. The truth is, we are the children of a creator, and we are creators. We create our own reality, we create our own drama, we create our life. And in this next act, what I mean by this next act is, over the next 6 months, you're going to be planting a golden egg, making some sort of creation that your heart was destined to create. In other words, this is an egg, or this is a seed idea, or a dream, or a wish that you had in heaven and you intended to fulfill in this lifetime. And you may question and go, everyone's going for their dream at the very same time? Yes, says Sensei, I actually believe so. And it actually happens every so often. In fact, what I'm measuring this by are two things. For one, the North Node is about to move into Leo. And I described that in 1998 to the year 2000, that's a period when the North Node was in Leo, and that's when the universe was pointing us towards our hearts, telling us to follow what our heart wants. It was the dot-com boom and bust, actually, the Y2K fear that turned out to be nothing. It was a very interesting period, if you recall. So we're about to go in that period again, which means the universe is saying, hey, it's time to chase after what your heart wants. See, that's the golden part of the egg. And mind you, the North Node will be in Leo for 18 months, so the universe will be pointing us towards our heart and pointing us towards the sunshine and pointing us towards hatching this egg for that entire period. It's a very good stretch where God Universe says, aim for the heart. Thank God we have this track. But the reason why I think this is an egg, something that's going to manifest and stick around for a long time, has to do with other planets that I see up in the stars. For one, Saturn is conjuncting the galactic center, so this means that the major play of our life is about to unfold based on what our beliefs are. That's a biggie. The other, of course, is Uranus and Aries, that we're all becoming the potential of our greatest character on Earth. So we're all ready to step into our self-mastery. And of course, as you're stepping into your self-mastery, that is when you can create the most golden of your eggs. But I also cite Venus retrograde over the weekend, conjuncting Chiron at step 26, like I mentioned earlier. And this is literally Venus, our womb, conjuncting Chiron, a healing, which means that we are now healed. Our womb is healed. We have the potential to go out and create, and we are creating karma-free. In other words, we're creating from a new place, a new dawn, a new potential. So you could say you're going to see the creative energy of Earth explode over the next 18 months. Because really everyone is being encouraged to go lay their golden egg, to go after that big idea. And of course, this idea is the child of who you are as a soul, and your character as a soul. This is literally how creation works. Eventually, God creates an image of him or herself. And that is what every human being is being called to do, to lay a golden egg, an image of their inner heart and their inner beauty, and to move forward with that egg. Now, another little clue I have as an astrologer has to do with the upcoming eclipses that we have coming up this summer. As Jupiter climbs into the higher degrees of Libra, which is creation at the highest degree, literally, we will have 2 eclipses in August. The first is a lunar eclipse in Aquarius on August 7th, and the second is a solar eclipse in Leo on August 21st. Leo is creation energy at the heart, and Aquarius is the outcome. So what happens during this month of August is that whatever you have been working on, whatever you've been creating from the heart, whatever golden egg you have laid, something will change the big grand scheme of the plans with the lunar eclipse in Aquarius. Suddenly there'll be a shift of teams, there'll be a shift of directions. The map will basically change. And that in itself is probably the universe removing certain obstacles that are in the way of your egg to really grow and hatch. But then the solar eclipse at the end of the month on August 21st will be at 28 degrees, which is the highest manifestation degree there is, and it's in Leo, which is love. So in other words, to me, the universe is willing to hatch this golden egg if you're willing to lay it. I do believe that the cloudy times of President Trump, potential world conflict, racism, all these dark things we see appearing in front of us are actually the cue for those living in their heart, those with a dream, those with a solution to a problem to now step forward. It is always dark times that brings out the light, and it is time, my friend, to go ahead and create that golden egg. All right, friend, I hope you have a wonderful, creative, and fertile Easter, and I will see you on Monday with more. Until then, remember I love you, and live, love, be.